Do you want a spiritual shortcut? Well, I'm going to give it to you in this video. As I'm sure that reading the title of this video, you already know, I'm assuming. And that is veganism. Eating a vegan diet is a spiritual shortcut. It's a shortcut to spirituality. Now, what is a vegan diet? We have to define our terms here. Most people think that a vegan diet is eating plants. No. Veganism to me means the abolishment of suffering of sentient beings. Okay, so I eat a diet that doesn't cause other human beings or other living beings or other creatures, other animals specifically, from suffering immensely or dying, which you are, unfortunately. And the majority of human beings are eating a sad carcass, corpse, body parts of dead, deceased animals that suffered and were in immense pain and prematurely killed for your taste pleasure, for your benefit, which is a little bit unethical to me. Unethical. So it's a shortcut. If you eat a plant-based diet, it's good. But if you eat a vegan diet, that means you abolish the animal suffering. You don't eat any animal products. I'm getting a little bit convoluted here with my terms, but regardless, continuing on. It's a shortcut. What does it mean as a shortcut? I'm going to explain it to you, okay? So some of my friends out there living in India, they consume meat sometimes, they consume animal flesh, but most importantly, they consume animal milk, which is a horror in and of itself. It's a horror even if you get your milk from a nice cow raised in your backyard and it's treated well. It's still a horror because you're breastfeeding from an animal. You're an animal breastfeeder. And if you pay attention enough to this human being, to this system, it's a system. If you pay attention, which most of you aren't paying attention, I'll just give you the answers here, okay? If we're writing a test, I'm gonna give you the answers for free so that you get a good grade. I'll just whisper it to you, okay? Shh. The human being isn't designed, isn't evolved, isn't capable of processing animal juices, animals' milk, okay? I know this sounds very crazy and very, oh, what are you talking? Just take a little bit of a step back and let's see some perspective over the whole game of life. A cow, female cow, produces milk only when it's pregnant. Why? For the purpose of giving its offspring the milk. Not for you to jump underneath its udders and start sucking it. That's a little bit weird. That's so weird. Oh my God. It's not weird to you because we're all doing it. And when everyone's doing something, hey, follow the herd and you're safe and you're surviving and no one's going to call you out on it. But I'm going to call you out on it because it's fundamentally reality weird. It's naturally weird. Like, it would be weird if I was starting eating rocks. If we were all eating rocks, I'm sure it would be normal and be fine and you wouldn't think it's weird to eat rocks. But it's weird to eat rocks because no one does it. Unfortunately, somewhere along the lines of 1,000 years ago, people got in the habit of milking cows and breastfeeding from cows, which that's too bad, so sad. So in that way, my friends, even if the cow isn't tortured, which the majority of the milk that you're consuming, the cows have been tortured for that product. So it's another bad thing that you're doing. But even if it wasn't the case, even if you have some backyard cow, it's still not tolerable to your system. It doesn't tolerate it. The human body doesn't tolerate milk. What do I mean when I say it doesn't tolerate it? Well, if you are on the spiritual path, which most of you are, you want to not be held down by rocks. Like, for example, I have a backpack here, okay? You know what I wouldn't do if I'm trekking Kailash or I'm trekking some place far in the mountains? I wouldn't stuff this full of rocks and then just start climbing. Why? It would make my life so much more difficult. I want to have an easy flow through this life. So I take out all the unnecessary baggage and I keep it aside. And that's a big thing that you're doing. You just don't add the unnecessary baggage. What is unnecessary baggage? It's milk and consuming animal products and other animal substances. I'll explain after I drink this water. So it holds your system down. So if you care about going on the spiritual path and you eat milk simultaneously, you are adding rocks into your bag. Okay? So every single time I eat something with milk, some paneer or some puff pastry or some cake that has milk inside, I might as well be taking a rock and placing it inside of this bag, putting it back on, and walking. It's not going to do you any good. I'm talking about, of course, in terms of perception, because ultimately that's what spirituality is. It's a matter of perception. It's how perceptive you are to life around you. I'm very perceptive. I'm extremely perceptive. I'm so perceptive that, I'll give you an example. One case that happened to me just a few days ago, someone is staying with me, and this person, a young person, just walked inside of the house, and he walked near me. He didn't say anything. He was doing something. And I could feel his heart, the organ inside of his chest. And I felt it's dark and something, he's sad. And something has happened to him wherever he was, and it's kind of bogging him down. And the energy hit me. Oof, that's hard. So that's the level of perception that I have. And I worked meticulously and very hard. Very hard. I didn't work hard. I worked extremely well in order to be able to get this type of perception that I can be so attuned and so sensitive to life. Why? Because it's aiding in my survival. I'm surviving better than pretty much most human beings on the planet, that's for sure. Top 1%, maybe higher. Even if you're a multi-billionaire, I'm still probably surviving better than you. Why? Because I know how to navigate this, and I know how to navigate this, which most of you don't have that capability. Why? Not enough paying attention. So again, I'm giving you the answers here. I'm giving you the answers. If we're writing on a test, you just cheat off of me. You just write exactly what's on my test paper, and you're gonna get an A or an A+, okay? Guaranteed. So you stay away from animal products, and of course you stay away from the flesh, from the carcasses or the corpses. You're not supposed to eat corpses, animal dead bodies. It's the worst food on the planet. It's the worst food on the planet. Unfortunately, you're ignorant, and you're addicted to your ignorance, and if you were to stop that today instantly, or if you were to force you to stop, it would be like a wave of light coming into you. And the amount of trauma and tension and fear and anxiety that would have to be lifted out of you is so traumatic. Maybe you would even break your body. It would be very hard. Maybe breaking your body is a little bit too intense or extreme, but extremely hard it would be, definitely. So in that sense, you're addicted to ignorance, and you're addicted to, I don't know, not seeing things, not realizing things. That's why you're eating animals. Now, I have to say this to myself, or for myself, that unfortunately, I've eaten animals pretty much for the rest of my life, or for the, not the rest of my life, for the majority of my life. I've eaten animals bodies, animals corpses, because I didn't know any better. That was the normal thing to do. That was a sane thing to do, because everyone else is doing it. That's what we've discussed, is normal. If everyone's doing something, it's normal. No, you're not normal. You're not normal in nature's sake. And extremely convenient it is. It tastes good. That's probably the biggest benefit of eating animals or eating meat, is it tastes good. Ooh, the taste. Seared skin bubbling from the heat, oily when it's burned, juices, tendons, ligaments, blood, and flesh, and meat and muscle. Tasty and delicious. You're gonna be alive for a long time if you eat that. No, don't do that. For sure, if you're eating animals or if you're eating meat and you're on the spiritual path, you might as well take your bag and you're trekking some mountainous area or some Kailash place. You take a big rock, not a small rock like if you're eating milk or other animal substances. You take a nice big boulder or gigantic rock, place it inside, and start walking. You're gonna make your life much more miserable than it already is. So, coming back to the point, and the title of this video is that eating a vegan diet is a shortcut to life. It's a shortcut to spirituality, actually. If you do this, force yourself to do this, okay? I'm giving you a challenge here. For the rest of this month, whatever month this is, just eat a plant-based, whole food, plant-based vegan diet. Vegan means that your food isn't causing the harm of other animals. Now, some smart people out there may think, oh, you're a vegan? You're killing so many more things than I am. I'm just killing one animal, and you're killing hundreds of animals, little insects, when you're farming your food and whatever else. Well, you're wrong, okay? I've been studying and learning about veganism for a long time, and I've come to the understanding and conclusion that there's no good argument for eating meat. It just doesn't exist. There hasn't been one thing that is said, and then there's no a counter argument, or there's no explanation that's better than eating animals or towards eating a plant-based diet. It just doesn't exist. So how does it not exist? Well, the animals that are farmed for your food, which are cows, pigs, and chickens, those are the three animals that you like a lot, right? No, that's called speciesism. Okay, speciesism means you favor one species for another. You pet the cat, and then you go slaughter the cow. You say good job, doggy, and then you go kill the pig. Why? It's because you're confused. No other reason. But anyways, that's going too far aside. The animals that are raised, the amount of land that it takes to grow their food and for us to feed them plant food, that 100 times murders more animals, more rodents, more insects, more life than you simply killing one cow, or me, eating a vegan diet. So for sure, you're causing way more destruction to this planet, and not only the planet, yourself. You're causing destruction of yourself by eating animal diet. That's too bad. Okay, you're not paying attention. Look, I know this may seem like it's a belief, or maybe it's my opinion, or everyone's body is different, everyone's life is different. No, unless you're some super obscure freak and you're the extreme what's the word, exemption, most likely you're going to thrive on a plant-based vegan diet. How do I know this? Because I've paid enough attention to the human system. This is not my personality, this is not my individual perspective, this is just the body. And most likely I have the same body as you do. Yes? Let's check. Yes. I'm checking the camera to see if I'm still recording. But yes, you have the exact same body as I do. Even if you're a female or male or different color or different symbol, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. You're still the same thing as I am. So for that reason, this is how it is. Okay, I've just paid enough attention to this that I realize and know 100% now that it's just not the right thing to do. It's not the wise thing to do. I want to very briefly talk about some little personal experience that happened many, many years ago when I was still maybe an early adult or late teenager. And again, I've come to this idea many times, how I became a vegan or how I discovered this. One day when I was 18, 19 years old, my family left somewhere and I was home alone. And I was sitting on the floor and I thought, okay, I should eat something. And I went to the fridge and I took sausage, which I liked sausage a lot, and some bread. And I ate it. And then I sat back down, and then it felt like the heavens opened up right in the space around me, like a god or some higher dimensional existence opened up. Or in the movie Interstellar, when they're traveling through space and some little floaty thing opens up and she tries to touch it, that's what it felt like, a little bit. And this knowingness came to me and said, yeah, go look into the fridge, go see what's happening. And I was scared because I knew my illusions just dropped. And I opened the fridge and I just saw corpses. I saw dead bodies. It would be, the feeling that I had would be the equivalent of you going to someone's house, opening the fridge and seeing human remains. Some serial killer has been cutting people. And that's what you see. Oh my God, there's a bunch of dead bodies here. That's a horror. I just horrified. And I'm eating that. Oh my God, disgusting. But you're all under the illusion. You're all under that illusion. And you can't see out of it. So you can't see that there's nothing wrong with it. Or you can't see there's something wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it because you're under this illusion. So I broke this illusion, and wow, after that I started doing research, and I'm realizing how bad these animals are treated and what it takes for them to die and for us to eat them as food. Oh my God, it's horror. So I couldn't turn away from that, and I started saying to my parents, I'm eating a vegan diet. But still, the most important thing was still in my life that I kept on going back to eating animals, is that it was inconvenient. So the majority of food on planet Earth is filled with animals, and I thought, hey, what's the big deal? It's already dead. Oh, this, that. I made all sorts of justifications. So it didn't really fully click for a long time, for 8-9 years. So the majority of my diet was a vegan diet, 80% or more. And then sometimes I would have a cheese pizza. Who cares? Well, whatever. I'm hungry. Oh, this, that, this. All these excuses. But now it's finally clicked in. Actually, about a year ago, when I met this person. I talked about her on my previous, my 84-part series. You should definitely watch it. I think she's in that series. Anyways, I I saw that it's doable and it's possible, and I knew 100% that if I'm going to really delve into spirituality and become a master at this, I can't eat this. It doesn't work. I'm slowing myself down, so I can't do this. So I stopped. But the point that I'm trying to make is, my brother, my dear brother, I have a brother, if you don't know. He's 19 years old. His name is Roman Shaiduk. 19 or 20 years old now, and when I first understood this, I also explained this to him, and I showed him 1 or 2 videos, and he was very empathetic as a child. Not anymore. He's dulled, became very dense and heavy and very dull in his adult life. Hopefully that'll change soon. But he was very malleable and very empathetic and very realizing the connection that he has to nature. And I showed him 1 or 2 videos of these slaughterhouses, and instantly he got it. Oh my God, this is a horror. This is a tragedy. And he was much more extreme about it as I was, because still I didn't get it. Someone showed me, or my family brought chips, and it had milk ingredients inside of it, and I thought, what's the big deal? And he said, no, you can't eat this. But then I knew I was in trouble, because he was forcing me to do something that I didn't want to do. Well, that's just the nature of life, and unfortunately I've gone way past this, not eating animals at all, as well as not eating the byproducts of animals, which I won't. But he still is, which I want to share with him this little clip. Hopefully it'll change his mind and change his life. So eating a vegan diet is absolutely a shortcut if you are on the spiritual path. By the way, first and foremost, you have to talk to me. If you haven't talked to me already, do this. It doesn't cost, I don't charge anything. It's all 100% on a voluntary donation basis. If you want to donate something afterwards, I feel like you've gotten something out of me, you can. If you don't have any money, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Links will be down below. Best place to contact me is Facebook. We'll talk. I will change your life. I guarantee you, I promise you, especially if you're struggling. Or if you're just getting on the spiritual path, or if you want to go faster, I will exponentially fast forward you on this path if you come with a certain receptivity. Okay, guaranteed. So reach out to me. We'll go from there. But if you are serious on the spiritual path, and if you are dedicated to pursuing this, you must go vegan. It's something that you have to do within your own heart. You have to commit yourself to not inflicting any more damage and any more pain onto other beings' lives. And lots of pain is inflicted on beings' lives, particularly the cows, pigs, and chickens, which is arguably the most abused animals on planet Earth, alongside the fish. The fish are the most abused because the sheer volume of fish that are pulled out of the ocean is uncountable. But the land animals are also there. But chicken is arguably one of the most abused animals on Earth. So don't cause the pain, and don't cause the damage, and don't cause the death of other animals simply for your taste pleasures. There's no good reason to eat meat. You're not eating it for your health. That's already been debunked. It's scientifically proven that eating meat is just the wrong thing to do. I don't like mentioning science. I don't like talking about scientific research, all this, because first of all, I don't understand any of this. Second of all, one thing is scientifically proven today, and the next tomorrow is going to be something else. You have to pay attention to your life. Pay attention to this one. Okay, pay attention to the wise people on Earth. That's something that I've always done. I've paid attention to the wisest people on Earth, and it's always worked out very good for me. So, who do you have to pay attention to? Well, me, of course. You're watching this video. Good job for paying attention to me. Pay attention to me. And also Sadhguru. This is how I've come to these conclusions and come to these realizations, and why I'm so refined and sensitive to life, because of that man. So do that, definitely. And yes, my friends, go vegan. If you take my advice and go vegan for 30 days and you come back to me and tell me, hey, I followed your advice and I haven't eaten an animal product or a suffering animal in over a month, I will do something for you, okay? Either I'll ship something out to you for a discount, or something will happen, or I'll bless you, or I'll think about you and I'll give you some nice blessings or some nice energy, or we'll do a spiritual consultation, a really shake you up inside or really benefit you, something will happen. Okay, I'll feel really good about you and about me for giving you this advice and giving you these ideas. So one more thing needs to be said, my friends. Don't eat honey as well. Honey is not a good thing to eat. It has great benefits to the body, absolutely, but look at it from a life sense, okay? If you're looking at things from life sense, the best things to eat are things that come from the trees and things that come from the land. That's the best thing, because nature wants you to eat that as a primate. But bees don't want you to eat their honey. You're stealing. And it doesn't matter what you say about it's good for the soil or something else. First of all, the majority of these bees, how they're being treated, they get killed after a certain period of time, after the summer months end, because it's too expensive for the farmer to upkeep them during the winter time. So they just get genocided. And the farmer steals their honey, which it takes a long time for them to work on it, or to create it. And the farmer feeds the bees sugar water, which is not a good substitute, which is basically like you're enslaving the bees, which is not good, not kind. It's not a good thing for your heart if you're doing that. If you're a farmer and you're farming bees, it's not good for your heart, the energy and the actual organ and the emotions of yourself, because every single action you do, it stems ultimately from your heart. That's the intention center. And it'll cause you pain. If you're causing others pain, you'll definitely cause yourself pain. So they steal the honey as well as they kill the bees. And also, bee is vomit. So a bee goes and sucks the nectar of a plant, and then it goes to another bee and it spits its vomit into the bee's mouth to remove the water content, and that bee goes and vomits in another bee's mouth, and then another bee's mouth, until finally it's mushy goo liquid, which doesn't expire. And the bees only do this for survival food. They survive out of this. So if you're stealing this food, not that great. Maybe you can treat the bees amazingly well, and if some super flock of bees that are producing lots of honey, you can steal a portion of their food, but that's not ethical. You're stealing another life form's food. Why are you doing that? The best thing to do is farm. And I know what you're thinking, oh, what about you killing things? You're doing it. There are ways to farm without damaging life. Okay, I know that there is. Unfortunately, the majority of farmers have commercial motivations, which nothing wrong with that. You need to survive. Money is how we survive. But if you have commercial mindset, then it doesn't matter what you do, because your ultimate end goal is the profit, which ethics and morality take a back step. So not the wisest thing to do, not the best thing to do, especially for your life. So yes, my friends, that's it. I've talked long enough. So do this, take my advice, go vegan, eat a plant-based diet, and do good with your life. Shiva Shambho.